First question. So how does the Cascade cope with more than one person in the home, or pets, or anything that's maybe going to skew any information?
Yeah, that's always a good question. So for pets, I mean, it's really about the deployment and making sure that the sensors are positioned in a particular way that will allow the pets to sort of run around. So often they'll be sighted looking upwards rather than down into the room, and that works pretty well. Occasionally, you'll see the cat jumping up onto the kitchen surfaces, having a little look around to see what's available. But in the main, pets are not a problem at all with the deployment. Multiple people, we often get asked this, and it's very interesting because actually the dynamic within the house is quite different when you have multiple people there. You're not so worried about somebody falling and being left alone for many, many, many hours. You've got two people there potentially who are, can kind of help each other. And of course, we don't tag individuals, but again, often the sighting of sensors, the positioning, who uses which rooms, often if there's a living care or overnight care, again, that can really help with those insights into how somebody's getting on, even if there are multiple people.
Does Cascade work with any specific IoT platform? And I'll sort of add to that, or can it work if you've got an existing platform? Can it point into that, or does it have to be a kind of a Cascade platform?
Yeah, I mean, our main area is around the analytics and collating the data, and then integrating that with different systems. So, as Tom and the previous question there around integration with Scape and the alarm receiving centers. So, we do that. We receive a lot of data via other means. So, of course, APIs are always trendy and vogue to talk about. And in fact, Terry, who you'll hear from later, things like My Droplet, being able to make sure that devices that aren't typically connected through a device within the home, then we can get that data as well, your meds and so on. There are lots of different ways in which data is received, very similar and really supporting what Tom's talked about. There's SMS, there's different connectivity. So yes, if you have IoT devices then already deployed, then let's have a look and see just the best way of receiving that data into the environment there for that analytics and overview.
With the integration of medical devices and clinical data, do you need to go through MHRA approval?
No, so it's a really good question, because it's important that the software doesn't start making those clinical decisions. So we always work directly with the clinicians who are looking at the thresholds and the individual parameters and requirements, and the software doesn't actually make any clinical decisions, because otherwise it would need to. Yeah, that's really important. It's left with professional oversight at all times.